Jesus' name we begin. Now let's solve WAEC 2022 objective questions 1 to 50. Let's begin with question number 1. Question 1 says, evaluate the four significant figures, the multiplication of 573.06 multiplied by 184.25, and we should correct to four significant figures. This is a very simple question, so we just use our calculator. Once we use our calculator to evaluate 573.06 multiplied by 184.25, we will have the resulting answer of 105586.305. Now the technicality to this question comes when we want to convert to four significant figures. So converting to four significant figures, we start from the left, 1 2 3 4, and thereafter all these rest will nullify to 0. And in nullifying it to 0, we will have to make some approximation, especially the last digits from 5 to 6, because we have 8 here. So the result will be 105600.000, and this is equivalent to option A. Let's move on to question number 2. The question says we should change 432, a number in base 5, to a number in base 3. So we want to change 432 to be in base 5, want to change it to base 3. And to do this, we have to pass through the conversion to base 10. So we'll first convert it to base 10, and from there we'll convert it to base 3. So let's begin. Let's convert first to base 10. So we have 432 base 5, and to convert to base 10 we are going to use the powers of 0, 1 and 2. So this is something I believe you're familiar with, and we have done this in a lot of questions in WAEC 2024 and 2023. So let's apply this now. So this becomes 4 multiplied by 5 raised to the power of 2, okay, plus we have 3 multiplied by 5 raised to the power of 1, and we have 2 now being multiplied by base 5 raised to the power of 0. So let's simplify further. This will result into 4 multiplied by 25 plus 3 multiplied by 5 plus 2 multiplied by 1, because anything raised to the power of 0 is 1. Simplifying further, this will have 100 plus 15 plus 2, and we will have 117 base 10. Now we have converted to base 10. The next phase is to move it to base 3. So to move to base 3, we're going to use the long division method. So to base 3, we're going to use the long division method from base 10 to base 3. 117. I want to divide by 3. So when we divide 117 by 3, we're going to have 39. We'll have a remainder of 0. If we divide 39 by 3, we'll have 13 with a remainder of 0. If we divide 13 by 3, we'll have 4 with a remainder of 1. And if we divide 4 by 3, we'll have 1 with a remainder of 1. Furthermore, if we divide 1 by 3, we will have 0 with a remainder of 1. So with this, we just take the readings upwards such that we'll have 117 base 10 to be equals to 11, you can see 11100 in base 3, 11100 base 3. So in view of that, the first question is the question itself is to convert to base 3, 432 to base 5. In base 5, we converted it to base 10, which gives us 117 base 10. And when we convert it to the base 3, we have to write the answer in red, 11100 base 3. And this is the option for option B. Now let's proceed on to question number 3. The question says that given that A and B are sets such that the cardinality of A, that's n of A, is equals to A, cardinality of B is equals to 12, and the cardinality of A intersection B is equals to 3. We should find the cardinality of A union B. So to fully understand this, we are going to draw a Venn diagram. We have the Venn diagram. We're not given the universal, that is the total, but we are given the components. We have A and we have B. So let's call this A and let's call this B. Now in the question, we're given that NA, that's cardinality of A, is equals to 8. So we have that A is equals to 8. Similarly, we're given that N of B, that's cardinality of B, to be equals to 12. So we have that B is equals to 12. Similarly, N of A intersection B is equals to 3. So where is A intersection B in the Venn diagram? It is in this section here. So we are saying the value here is equals to 3. And we not know what is the value of N cardinality of A union B. So that means we are looking for the values of everything, including the intersection combined with others. So let's solve this now. To solve this now, we have to know what is A only and what is B only. That's the cardinality of A only and the cardinality of B only. Now if this point is 8, if everything in this circle is 8, definitely we have taken 3 out of it, so here we'll be left with 8 minus 3, which is equals to 5. And in the same vein, if everything in this circle is B, which is equals to 12, and we have taken 3 out of it, we'll be left with what? 12 minus 3, which is equals to 9. So to get the cardinality of A union B, remember I'm using blue to depict that we are considering A only, intersection of A and B, and also B only. So the cardinality of A union B will be equals to the cardinality of A only. We don't want to use set theory so that will not bombard our head with a lot of principles, or set representation rather, plus the cardinality of A intersection B plus the cardinality of B only. So if we do this, we will have A only to be equals to 5, B A intersection B is equals to 3. We're given that in the question, and B only is equals to 9. And if we sum this up together, we will have the answer of 17. So we have the cardinality of A union B to be equals to 17, which is equivalent to option B. Now there is a trick formula to solve this question. Let's use the trick now. The trick simply says the cardinality of A union B is equals to the cardinality of A plus the cardinality of B minus the cardinality of A intersection B. So if you apply this now, you're going to have my edge for not saying this on time. So if you have to apply this now, this will be 8 plus 12 minus 3. And 8 plus 12 minus 3 will definitely give us 17, which is option B. So whichever method you pick, you are still good to go. But then I'll prefer this method because there is a vivid explanation of what we are doing, because here we want to establish understanding. Now moving on, let's proceed on to Wassce 2023 objective question 4. The question is a question on sword, and the question says that if root 24 plus root 96 minus root 600 is equals to y root 6, what is the value of y? Now, if this is a question on swords, I will admonish you to go back, pause the video right now and go and watch our lesson playlist on swords, and where we applied a lot of principles from addition, subtraction down to rationalization and solving swordic expressions. And the two rules of sword is simple, where we have root AB to be equals to root A multiplied by root B, and likewise root A over B is equals to root A divided by root B. So these two rules of sword, this we call the multiplication rule and the division rule, they are very powerful rules. So now let's apply that. Now, in view of this, now root 24 plus root 96 minus root 600 is equals to y root 6. So we know that we are converting the summation of all these single swords down to a basic sword, and the basic sword is root 6. So the first thing we will do is to convert root 24, root 96 and root 600 all into basic swords. So let's begin with root 24. Root 24 is written as 6 multiplied by 4, and this will result into, we are applying this rule where root AB is equals to root A multiplied by root B, and this will result into root 6 multiplied by root 4. Root 6 will stand alone, and likewise root 4 will be 2, because root of 4 is 2, so this will give us 2 root 6. This is for root 24. Moving on, let's proceed on to root 96. Root 96 is written as 16 multiplied by 6. So applying the rule of swords, this will become root 16 multiplied by root 6. Root 16 is 4, so this is 4 multiplied by root 6, and we will have 4 root 6. So we have converted to basic sword. Let's do the same thing for 600. So root 600 is simple, and this will just be root 100 multiplied by 6, because 100 multiplied by 6 is 600. And applying the rule of swords, where root AB is equals to root A multiplied by root B, this will result into root 100 multiplied by root 6. And in the same vein, root 100 is 10, the square root of 100 is 10 multiplied by root 6, so we'll have 10 root 6. So now we've done the conversion of each. Now let's just apply addition to each and subtraction to each, and all we just have to do is bring this down 4 times. That's 6 y root 6, y root 6, y root 6, and also y root 6. Now, in the addition and subtraction of swords, how do we add and subtract swords? All we just have to do is to know that are they of the same swords. If you look at this is root 6, this is root 6, and this is root 6. If we assume, for instance, that this is root 5, definitely we cannot add them together, because root 5 cannot be added to root 6, just the same way that x, let's say 5x, cannot be added to 2y. But if this was 2y, or let's say 2x, this will result into 7x. So this is the same principle we want to apply now. So let's change this back to 6. And now the first thing, let's deal with the addition first. Let's add these two together. Adding these two together will give us 2 plus 4, and that will give us 6 root 6. Minus 10 root 6. Let's write it well. Now, if we subtract this now together from each other, we have 6 minus 10. 6 minus 10 is going to give us minus 4. So this is minus 4 root 6. Remember, it's equals to y root 6 and also equals to y. Okay, what's happening? Y root 6. So in view of this, what then is y? Root 6 is equals to root 6. Definitely y is equals to minus 4. So we have y to be equals to minus 4, which is equivalent to option D. Now let's proceed further to WAEC 2022 objective question 5. The question says we should evaluate 23 multiplied by 54 with a mode of 7. The mode of 7 here means the final answer we'll have must be less than 7. Less than 7 and greater than 0. So before then, let's take a quick example. Just leave the question alone and let's dive in here. Now we have a question just to explain the whole mode principle for you. And we have this 2, or let's say 3 mod 2. 3 mod 2 can be written as 2 plus 1 mod 2. So this is 2 mod 2, we nullify each other, plus 1 mod 2. So what is the answer? The answer will simply be 1 mod 2, because 1, as we can see, is greater than 0 and is less than 2. Now this is one very simple, and let's take another one. Let's say we have 4, or let's say 5 mod 3. We can rewrite this 5 now to be 3 plus 2 mod 3. Now, in the same vein, just like we just said that this is going to be equals to 1 mod 2, definitely this will be equals to 2 mod 3, because now the explanation is this: 2 is a factor of 2, likewise 3 is a factor of 3, or let's say a multiple of 3. Now, if we proceed further to pick a more interesting question, let's say 10 mod 3. Now 10 mod 3 can be written as 3 multiplied by 3 plus 1 everything mod 3. 3 multiplied by 3 is a factor of 3, because we will have 9 plus 1 mod 3. 9 is a multiple of 3. So this will be equals to what? 1 mod 3. Now let's go back to the question. The question says 23 multiplied by 54 mod 7. So the first thing we will do is to multiply this out. So multiplying this out, we'll have 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, 2 rather, mod 7. Now since we are dealing with mod 7, we have to divide this by 7. If we factorize, divide this by 7 now, we will have 1242 to be equals to 177. I've already done all this. Multiply by 7 plus 3. So yes, you can guess the answer from here. Alright? And 1242 will be equals to 1239 plus 3. So now we can now rewrite this to give us 1239 plus 3 mod 7. So in view of that, 1239 is a factor of 7, as we have here, 177 multiplied by 7, and this would result into 3 mod 7. So if you compare with our options, the answer is equals to 3, which is equivalent to option B. Now we have WAEC 2022 objective question 6. The question says, if 4 raised to the power of 3x is equals to 16 raised to the power of x plus 1, we should find the value of x. So merely looking at this, we know that this is a question on indices, and we can recap on the question on the formulas of indices. So the first one is the addition law, that's the laws of indices. So where x raised to the power a multiplied by x raised to the power b is equals to x raised to the power a plus b. The subtraction law where it says x raised to the power a divided by x raised to the power b. This can also be written as x raised to the power a divided by x raised to the power b will be x raised to the power a minus b. And moving on, the power law now. The power law states that when we have x raised to the power a all being raised to the power of b, this will equate x raised to the power ab. So these are the three fundamental laws of indices, and we did a lot of examples and exercise when we talked on indices. You should go to our YouTube channel, go to the playlist of indices, and you will learn a lot on this. So let's move to the question. WAEC 2022 objective question 6. The question says we should find the value of x given 4 raised to the power of 3x is equals to 16 raised to the power of x plus 1. Now 4 and 16, are they of the same base? No. But can they have the same base? Yes, because 4 is equals to 2 raised to the power of 2 and 16 is equals to 2 raised to the power of 4. Okay, yes, 2 raised to the power of 4. Now in view of that, let's make the substitution. So wherever we see 4, we'll put 2 raised to the power of 2, and wherever we see 16, we put 2 raised to the power of 4. So beginning with that, 4, or let's just rewrite the question. 4 raised to the power of 3x is equals to 16 raised to the power of x plus 1. So we will have 2x, 2 raised to the power of 2 raised to the power of 3x, and 16 is 2 raised to the power of 4 raised to the power of x plus 1. Now let us apply this principle of power law. The principle of power law states that when we have x raised to the power of something, everything raised to the power of another thing, it will be the product of their powers. So what this means is that we'll have to multiply 2 and 3x, and in the same vein we'll multiply 4 and x plus 1. So doing this, we'll have 2, as you say, 2 raised to the power of 2 multiplied by 3x is equals to 2 raised to the power of 4 multiplied by x plus 1. So this will result into 2 raised to the power of 6x is equals to 2 raised to the power of 4 into x plus 1. Let's leave it that way. So now we have the same base. So when we have the same base, all we just have to do is just to equate the powers. So let's equate the powers now. So we have 6x is equals to 4 into x plus 1. What did we do? We equated the power. Equate the powers. So moving on, we expand and find the value of x. So we have 6x is equals to 4x plus 4. And let's bring x to the left hand side. So we have 6x minus 4x is equals to 4. This will result into 2x is equals to 4. X is equals to 4 over 2. And we'll have that x is equals to 2, which is equivalent to option B. X is equals to 2. So the most important part in this question is this, the laws of indices. So let's move forward. Now moving forward, we have a question here on WAEC 2022 objective question 7. The question says a weaver bought a bundle of grass for $50 from which he made 8 mats. If each mat, emphasis on each, was sold for $15, find the percentage profit. Now this is a question involving profit, loss, percentage profit, percentage loss, Now let's write out everything we might need. What is the formula for profits? What is the formula for loss? What is the formula for percentage profit? Likewise, what's the formula for percentage loss? Profits. When we talk about profits, profit means the amount at which we sold it, that's the selling price, is greater than the amount at which we bought it, that's cost price. So that means profit is equals to selling price minus cost price, CP. Loss means that the cost price, that means we sold it for less. So that means the cost price minus the selling price. Therefore, the percentage profit will be equals to profit divided by the cost price multiplied by 100%. Similarly, the percentage loss will be loss itself divided by the cost price multiplied by the 100%. Now let's go back to the question and make meaning out of it. The weaver bought, when someone buys something, that means the cost price. So the weaver bought a bundle of grass. So the cost price is equals to $50. So we have 50. $50. Now, if the weaver bought it for $50 and out of that bundle of grass, he sold 8 mats. So he sold 8 mats at the rate of $15. So let's write it here. Sold 8 mats at the rate of $15. Therefore, we are saying that the selling price will be equals to $15 multiplied by 8. And 15 multiplied by 8 will give us $120. So now we have the cost price and we have the selling price. The question now says find the percentage profits. So that's the formula we are using. The percentage profit is equals to the profit divided by the cost price multiplied by 100%. Do we have the cost price? Yes. Do we have the profits? No. Now let's evaluate the profits using this formula. The profit is equals to selling price minus cost price. The selling price is $120 and the cost price is $50. So in view of this will result into $70. So everything in dollars, and we'll have $70. Now once we have the profits, we can now evaluate the percentage profits, and the percentage profits will be profits divided by cost price multiplied by 100%. So let's just make our substitution. The profit is $70, the cost price is $50. And in view of this, the dollars will nullify the dollars and we'll be left with 7/5 multiplied by 100%. And with this, we'll have, I want to nullify this guy. Okay. And with this, we'll have it to equals to 1.4 multiplied by 100%. 1.4 multiplied by 100% is 140%. 140% is the percentage profit, which is equivalent to option C. So we can see we moved from the known, okay, from the known formulas to the known variables down to the known values. We'll solve question 7. Now let's move further to question number 8. Now the question says find the 17th term of the arithmetic progression -6, -1, and 4. Now this is a question on arithmetic progression. We understand AP, we understand GP, but then let's focus on AP for this question. The first thing we will do is to, let's say, write out all the formulas involved in arithmetic progression. So in view of that, let's begin. So in arithmetic progression, we know that the nth term is equals to A, which is the first term, plus n minus 1 multiplied by D, where D is the common difference. A is the first term, okay, D is the common difference. Now once we have the nth term, then we have the summation of n term. Summation of n term is given by n over 2 into 2a plus 2a plus n minus 1d. So now let's apply the concepts of these two formulas into arithmetic progression with respect to the question, and begin. So we're given -6, -1, and 4. Now if we look closely to this, the first term in this case is -6, so a is equals to -6. Let's write it on top of it, which is the first term. A is equals to -6. Now with that done, how then do we find the common difference? The common difference is simply the difference between two consecutive terms. So we can say that the common difference D is equals to the second term minus the first term, and we can also say common difference D is equals to the third term minus the second term. Common difference D is also the fourth term minus the third term, and then it continues. So now let's evaluate D. So using this formula now, D, which is the second term minus the first term, the second term is -1, the first term is -6. So we have -1 minus -6, and this would result into -1 plus 6, which is equals to 5. Similarly, if you apply third term minus second term, so we have the third term to be 4, the second term to be -1, so we have -1, so this will result into 4 plus 1, which is equals to 5. Now since we do not have fourth term, we will understand that whatever formula we used here therefore will result into the same answer. So now, just as we had A to be equals to -6, now we have D to be equals to 5. Now those are the two main terms that we'll be using. A, first term, D, common difference. Now the question says find the 17th term. That means we are going to be applying this formula. So let's rewrite it. Tn is equals to A plus n minus 1d. Now the question says find the 17th term. The 17th term means n is equals to 17. So that means we have T17. Wherever we see n, we substitute what? 17. T17. Okay, T17 is equals to A plus 17 minus 1d. So in view of this, T17 is equals to A plus 16d. So this is the formula we are using. Now applying this formula, now let's make our substitution of A and D. A is equals to -6, D is equals to 5. So now T17 is equals to A is equals to -6, and D is equals to what? 5. So simplifying further, this will result into -6 plus 80, and T17, which is the question, is equals to 74. 74 is equivalent to option B. So we can see we started from the formulas, we moved further to evaluating the first term, then D, then we applied the formula for the nth term, and we arrived at 74. Now we're moving forward to Wassce 2022 objective question 9. The question says M varies directly as n and inversely as the square of p. if m is equals to 3 and n is equals to 2, okay, if m is equals to 3 when n is equals to 2 and p is equals to 1, find m in terms of n and p. Now let's take a quick section here. If we have a varying directly as b, that means we're saying that a is proportional to b. And if a is proportional to b, we will have that a is equals to kb, where k is the constant, okay, constant of proportionality, KON, constant of proportionality. Similarly, if we have a, and let's not use a again, let's use c varying inversely as d. So we are saying c is inversely proportional to 1 over d. And in view of this, we'll have c to be equals to k over d, where k is the constant of proportionality. Now let's apply this principle to this question. The question says, let's change the ink. The question says we have m to vary directly as n. So m, let's write down here, m varies directly as n. So we have m is proportional to n, and the same m varies inversely as the square of p. That means the square of p is p squared. So this means m is proportional to 1 over p squared. So with this, we can combine the two together, and this will result into m proportional to n divided by p squared. So just as we did here, where we want to change from proportionality sign to equals to sign, we introduce the constant of proportionality. So we'll have it here that m is equals to kn divided by p squared, where k is equals to the constant of proportionality. So let's begin, or let's continue. Now we have implemented the first line of the question to give this. The second line of the question says if m is equals to 3 when n is equals to 2 and p is equals to 1, we should find m in terms of n and p. Now we are looking for m in terms of n and p. The question did not say we should look for m in terms of k, so we have to find the value of k, and they have given us the parameters to find k. M is equals to 3, n is equals to 2, p is equals to 1. So from here, let's make k the subject of formula. So if we cross multiply, we'll have m p squared is equals to kn, and if we divide both sides by n, we will have that k is equals to m p squared divided by n. Don't mind my m, please. All right, so now we have k to be m p squared divided by n. Now we are going to apply these three statements, that m is equals to 3, n is equals to 2, and likewise p is equals to 1 to this, so that we'll find the value of k. So let's find the value of k now. K is equals to m p squared divided by n. M is equals to 3, p is equals to 1, and n is equals to 2. So this will result into 3 multiplied by 1 divided by 2, and we'll have 3 over 2. Now if we have k to be equals to 3 over 2, and we are asked to express m in terms of n and p, so we go back to the original formula of m. So let's rewrite that. Let's rewrite this again. Now let's just duplicate, and this time around we will change the ink. Change pen style to blue. Sweet. Now once we have this, we will just substitute the value of k, and k is 3/2 multiplied by n divided by p squared, and this will give us 3/2 multiplied by n over p squared, and we will have 3n over 2p squared. Remember, all this is equals to m, so the final answer will be m is equals to 3n, okay, 3n divided by 2p squared, and this is equivalent to option A. The question says if a is equals to 3, that means we're given a is equals to 3, and likewise b is equals to -7. We should find the value of 5b plus a plus b raised to the power of 2, all divided by a minus b raised to the power of 2. So this is a very simple question. All we just have to do is just to substitute the necessary values. So we have a is equals to 3 and b is equals to -7. So wherever we see a, we put 3. Wherever we see b is equals to -7. So b -7 plus a, which is 3, plus b, which is -7, everything squared, divided by a, which is 3, minus b, which is -7, everything squared. So let's simplify this. So we will have 5 multiplied by -7 will give us -35, plus 3, this plus and minus will result into minus 3 minus 7 squared, and likewise this minus and minus will result into plus. So we have 3 plus 7 squared. So we have -35. 3 minus 7 is equals to 4, plus 4 squared. 3 plus 7 is equals to 10, divided by 10 squared. So let's solve together now and wrap it up. So we have 35 plus 16 divided by 100. So -35 plus 16 is going to give us -19. -19 divided by 100, and if we just divide this by 100, we will have -0.19, and -0.19 is equivalent to option C. So like I said, it's a very simple question. All we just have to do is just to substitute the necessary.